Sarah is a teenage girl who still likes to get lost in her childhood fantasies. She does so because she feels to be a novel Cinderella, forced to always look after her baby stepbrother, Toby. One night, when she is particularly angry and annoyed by the cries of her brother, she casts the spell she had found in her favorite fantasy book to make goblins take him away. She could have never guessed that the magic would actually work, and the Goblin King Jareth himself would appear in front of her. The girl never really wanted to harm her brother, so she refuses Jareth's proposal to let him have the baby in exchange for the realization of all her dreams. However, neither the Goblin King is willing to let her be or let Toby go. When he challenges Sarah to reach his castle, surrounded by a dangerous and mysterious labyrinth, to take her baby brother back home, the girl must take advantage of her imagination and everything she knows, and also she must become a better person to accomplish this perilous mission. This is the plot of Labyrinth, published in 1986 and directed by Jim Henson, the creator of the Muppets. The protagonist, Sarah, is portrayed by Jennifer Connelly, while the villain, Jareth, is impersonated by David Bowie. If you add George Lucas as executive producer and Terry Jones from Monty Python as screenplayer, you have the perfect mix for a huge success. Unluckily, the movie was a flop for both critics and audiences, yet it was later rediscovered thanks to the home video industry, and today is considered an 80s cult with a huge and devoted fandom. Considering this, it is not surprising that a sequel to Labyrinth is in production and that the direction of the film has been already assigned to Scott Derrickson. The new director has an almost impossible task to complete: to recreate the same magic the original Labyrinth has, without the two people responsible for that same magic and for the greatness of the movie, the late Jim Henson and David Bowie. In fact, Henson poured all his passion, love, and creativity into what would have been his latest work. He decided to oversee any aspect of the production phase, from screenwriting to casting, as he was the one that convinced David Bowie to join the project. He and his crew also made possible the realization of a huge number of characters, all with their distinctive features, all memorable. All these characters that feel real to the spectator make the world of Labyrinth alive and make it look like a place where everything is possible, as it should be in a fantasy setting. Creating a sequel of such a movie using too much CGI would be a total loss. For this reason, it is reassuring that Henson's heirs are involved in the making of the sequel film as producers, providing Derrickson with a ton of new and strange puppets to display on the screen.
Quite often, young lady, it seems like we're not getting anywhere, when in fact,
we are.
we are.
If having the Jim Henson Company as a part of the project may assure that Labyrinth sequel maintains the first movie's variety in the characters and their personality, David Bowie's loss may be much harder to overcome. His musical and actorial performances granted the movie a great villain and soundtrack, but not only that. All Bowie was and represented was perfect for the role, and the movie is so memorable and has such a distinctive personality, all thanks to his presence. Here, Derrickson's assignment seems overwhelming, but if he manages to create a Jareth that won't be totally outclassed by Bowie's one, that would already be a success. Where Derrickson and his screenwriter, Maggie Levin, can do better than the original movie is in the writing of the plot and characters. In fact, when watching Labyrinth, the spectator doesn't seem to understand the motives behind the actions of the characters, in particular the main ones, Jareth and Sarah, and what is the meaning and sometimes the direction of the whole story. After the movie, we end up asking ourselves, did all the events happen in Sarah's fantasies? Is the story a metaphor for the passing from childhood to womanhood? There is a feminist subtext to the movie. And why is Jareth so interested in Sarah? All these questions remain unanswered in the original movie, probably because the script had been written, modified and corrected over and over, leaving many aspects of the story to be clarified in the subsequent novelization of the film. The sequel needs a stronger plot and development, and more consistency in what it wants to communicate to the audience. Scott Derrickson has already demonstrated he can handle dark and lighter atmospheres, and if he manages to mix them in this Labyrinth sequel, he may be able to reproduce the context of the first movie. But he will be able to create a worthy sequel only if he and everybody collaborating with him will work trying to make a movie with passion and love. The same passion and love Henson, Bowie and everybody else had in the 80s while realizing the film that is now the cult called Labyrinth. And you? Have you ever watched Labyrinth? Are you waiting for the sequel? Do you think it will be a good movie? Let us know in the comments what you think. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Ciao a tutti.